From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
Welcome to Biz Champions. I'm your host, Chris Budahaas. Today's segment is sponsored by All Dry Services of Southeast Jacksonville. Today in the studio, really at the bar, we got Giselle, Carson with Marks Gray and Major Harding. Hey folks, how are you guys?
We're great.
Doing good.
Yeah, a lot going on in your space. So where do we start? Because you have done so much and you brought some medals here. So we know we can talk about that in a little bit too.
We're in a bar and there is a lot of bullying around us. Why not start with the Rio Marathon?
Okay, yeah.
As well.
That sounds like fun.
I literally just came back and I don't know if people can see my nails.
Yeah.
But if they can, the Brazilian flag and beautiful medal that it was hard earned.
Was it really? Very hilly?
No, actually. But the marathon begins at 5:00 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Meaning you're up at 2
Yeah.
to get there because it gets so hot, even though it is December. It's the winter in Rio.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a beautiful experience. And I rarely say that I would like to go back someplace. I'm like, there's so many beautiful places in the world.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm there, I'm done.
Yeah.
But Brazil is something, there's so much. There's so much in terms of culture and the Amazon, which I haven't seen really.
Yeah.
That I would love to. Yeah, it's a place to go back to.
Yeah.
But that also kind of brings me, we're talking about endurance and the endurance that it takes to finish a marathon.
Right.
And the endurance that it takes to practice immigration law these days. They just go together.
Yeah, for our audience, I mean, Antarctic marathon, and then you've done the Iron Man, Iron Woman, if you will, in Kona, and I've been there, and that is no small feat at all. So congratulations.
Yeah, a lot, again, great determination, discipline
Yeah.
to overcome the challenges of endurance athlete and to overcome challenges of bureaucratic immigration processing.
Yeah. Well, I want to get into that, but I think for a little bit of context for our audience, I've talked, we did another interview previously, your background. I mean, originally from Cuba, immigrated to Canada, immigrated to the U.S., and you're practicing law, and you're in this special space of immigration. Take it from there. Tell us more.
Yeah, sure. So roots in Cuba, as you said, restarted my life in Canada, not necessarily by choice.
Yeah.
Parents made that choice for me, but I'm grateful for it now. Looking back, restarted my life there. I was 15 years old. I came in as an asylee, which we hear that term a lot today. And it's like this crazy people coming into our country. Well, there is some good that comes out of people.
Yeah.
And I was one of them in Canada, and they welcomed me with open arms. I spoke no English or French at the time. So I was like, oof, here you go. And restart your life from nothing. Clean floors with my parents at night to make a living. I went to school during the day. And eventually my in-laws gave me a little book that is the little engine that could, that little kid. And at the time I thought, are you kidding me? You're giving me this book.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I get it. It's that little engine in you that keeps on saying, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah. And they saw that in me at the time.
Right.
And now I'm thinking back and I'm like, well, graduated from McGill with a physical therapy degree.
Oh, okay.
And of course, learned French, English, became a Canadian citizen. And then 9 or so years later, decided, a new reinvention in the United States.
Yeah.
Came here on a work visa. And then decided to go to law school, and then from law school to becoming a corporate immigration attorney. I was not an endurance athlete at all. I was an enthusiast of athletics at that point, I guess. It started with the Gate River Run, literally. Okay. That was kind of my main entry into this world.
Yeah.
And, it just kind of grew from there. But as I look back, some people say, how could you practice immigration law after living the nightmares, which I did. Yeah. I still remember standing in line at the USCIS local office here in Jacksonville. At the time, many years ago, without the internet, you literally had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, stand in line at the door,
Yeah.
and they would give the tickets, and for the first 10 or the first 20 or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you made it in time, you would get one of those tickets and you would go in for an interview.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But, I lived it. But that, I think, that passion inside me, I want to give back. I want to help those people that I know can contribute to our country and employers that helped me get a green card. And so started
Paying
from
it back a
zero.
little bit.
Absolutely, paying it back. And Mark Spray gave me a tremendous opportunity. They did not have an immigration practice.
Okay.
I started there as a litigator with Jen Barber and Steve Gallagher, literally.
Yeah.
And they were doing medical litigation, which I brought in my medical background,
Okay.
physical therapy. And so it worked great. And I loved that practice to some degree, but it really wasn't that little energy in me that felt like I'm really making a contribution to the world. And as I was taking depositions and whatnot, for nurses and physicians from the Philippines, from India, who's bringing them in? Who's helping our clients? And soon realized that there weren't that many corporate immigration attorneys in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And it was also kind of like, we don't need them here either. Why? And I was like, whoa, this is a global city.
Yeah.
We do need that kind of. So I started there.
That's great.
And the practice grew. At the time, I was just me and myself. And now I have a team of 5, and we do work all over.
That's great.
All over the United States and globally. And it's I feel like it's so much more than just, and it is. It's more than just a legal practice and helping the few clients that we have.
Yeah.
Because now with the book, it opens up the world of the opportunities and the reality of the need.
Talk about your book a little bit. What made you want to write a book?
Yeah, well, that kind of things. It was at that point in my career where I just thought, okay, I don't really want to be bigger in terms of the practice that I have, but I do want to be able to impact more people and bring in the elevate the world of immigration that right now I feel is being pushed down.
Yeah.
Like everything that we hear is the bad, which it happens, but that's not the whole story.
Yeah, you can't throw the baby out of the bathwater.
Yeah. So the whole story, I think this is a compliment to the story, is I started it as a legal book. And I was like, I can't read this. It's too boring.
Yeah.
So I made it into stories. And each chapter is a story about
Somebody's journey.
An employer, which is my primary client, and the journey of the team, the employer, the foreign talent, myself, as to how do we get to the finish line. So, and then somebody said to me, well, why don't you write about your own story? So I actually have 3 chapters in there that are also my story.
I look forward to reading it. I mean, for the audience, this is for business owners who are looking for immigrants. And it's not lost on me. So 2 points of reflection real quick. So my last 2 veteran affairs doctor's appointments were both one was from Bangladesh originally, the other one from India. First class quality care. I was impressed, right? And then the second point of reflection goes back to the pain of it. When my Iraqi interpreter from Baghdad in 2006 moved here in 2008, the pain, you couldn't find anybody on the internet. You can get the address in Savannah, but there was no phone number, there was no email. You had to literally go there, a secured building, knock on the door, and hope somebody would answer. Matter of fact, the first day, they didn't even show up, or they were in the building and weren't letting us in. It was just so painful. The fact that you're having somebody that's going to, hey, I want to educate you as a business owner or a business on how to do this. Yeah, there's a lot of talent out there in the world. You can harness it.
Well, and it's talent that is getting more scarce by the minute, because it's the uniqueness of the skill set.
Yeah.
One of my clients that I talk about in the book, he is from Australia. And when I was talking to him, he is in a metallurgical engineering industry. And it's not something that we're known for in the United States.
All. Yeah.
But Canada has a very strong metallurgic,
industry,
and Africa and Australia. So he's like, Giselle, that's what I need to recruit. And to bring them here and to strengthen my U.S. operations.
Yeah.
it is not feasible for me to train a U.S. worker to that level.
Yeah.
Where I could bring someone from Canada or Africa that their whole life have been doing this.
Right.
And they come in with a level of expertise that is just going to elevate my business.
Yeah.
I couldn't spend those 10 years training that one person.
Yeah.
So that's the uniqueness.
That's great.
Yeah.
Giselle, so how do people find you and how do we find the book?
Sure, absolutely. So the book is on Amazon, of course, where you can find everything these days.
Never heard of it. Amazon. Okay, yeah.
It is there. So sure. And I'm on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I love to connect with people on LinkedIn.
That's great. Yeah, and for the audience, it's the corporate immigration advantage: how to hire and retain and thrive with global talent in a competitive world environment by Giselle Carson. So thank you for your service to our community. Thank you for your story. It's amazing. I mean, God put you in the place where you're at for the right reasons. Yeah. And amazing the grit you got, because I don't know how when do you sleep?
Well, I actually tell you the truth. I am taking some sort of a nap this afternoon.
Okay, good for you. Awesome. Well, I look forward to continuing our conversation. So I encourage folks to reach out, connect with Major, yourself, and me on LinkedIn. Such a powerful opportunity to continue conversations, but also network with one another. So
thank you.
It's always good to see you.
Thank
Hey, folks, we'll see you in our next segment with gratitude.
My name is Todd Marshall, and I own All Dry Services of Southeast Jacksonville. We serve all of Northeast Florida. Every day, our business is doing the more mundane, but yet sometimes catastrophic issues. These can be plumbing leaks, they can be sewage backups. A bathtub overflows, somebody leaves the sink running. So we have a 24/7 response. If you call us, you're going to get a live person, and you try to get out there as quick as possible so that we can minimize the damage.